Everybody, Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. We're in Minden, Nebraska today checking out the awesome collection at Pioneer Village. This is a collection put together by a man named Harold Warp, who started putting this collection together back in the 50s. So there is so many cool cars here, along with everything else. It's kind of the evolution of everything, from toasters to cars to musical instruments. So we're bringing you primarily car videos because that's why we're here and that's what we love. So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's primarily what we're going to show you. 350 cars in this collection. Almost all of it is completely original stuff as found back in the 50s. So some of these cars that were gathered up in the 50s and into the 60s and into the 70s, they're original as found, and a lot of them have never been touched. Some of the really early stuff had been restored at that point, but a lot of the cars are original. That's what's so great about this collection. So tonight we're gonna look at some early Fords, starting off really early with a brass T. 1915, really basic, obviously black, because that's how they came. Getting into some of the newer Model Ts, also black, surprising to no one. And we'll start working our way up here towards the end of the Ts and getting into some of the Model A stuff. You know, 29A, another 29A. You know, and these cars have been preserved. A lot of these cars, like I said, were found in original condition. Here's kind of a cool one, a 29 Model A station wagon with a wooden body. Really extensive collection here, you know, more Model A's. And, you know, back in the day, these cars were extremely popular for collectibles, so a lot of these got put into this collection. And here's a 30 Model A there, which will wrap us up with the A's. And then roll into the 32 Ford, obviously the iconic 32 with the super popular, great looking nose. Very well known cars, obviously. And then up to a 33 Ford. This one's a sedan with the suicide doors that these cars did have. And this car looks to be, for the most part, original. It looks like it had one repaint, but you still see where the fenders have been repaired, things like that. Great looking grill on these 33, 34s. This is a 33 with the kick out at the bottom. 34s were more straight. But a good looking old original car. 1940 Ford sedan. Iconic 40 Ford, super popular design. Great looking nose on these cars. And like I said, a car that's been in here for years, been well preserved, and still in that state. Moving along, 46 Ford. This car is a two-door sedan. Once again, an old car that shows its age because it was gathered up back in the day and put in here and preserved. Moving up to the 49 Ford, you know, the shoebox Ford, an iconic design, a super popular design with a bullet type grille. Obviously very well-known cars. We've got a 49 there, we've got a 50 here. And then we're going to roll into another 50 next to that. 50 four-door, Fulton sun visor. If you notice on a lot of these cars as we look at them, a lot of them have sun visors, a lot of them have some accessories, a lot of them have modifications because that's how they were found. That's what the owners did to them back in the day when they were used as transportation. That's how these cars have been preserved. That's how they're here. We can see the fender of this Ford right here. The paint's real thin and about worn off because it's probably original paint. We can see the front of the hood has chips in it because this is a big flat piece of painted metal that caught rocks. That's how these cars are preserved. That's how they're in here. That's what's so great about them. Really great looking 50 Ford convertible here with the two-tone. You know, and an aftermarket accessory bumper guards on this one. Once again, this is stuff people added back in the day. 1951 Ford two-door hardtop. Seldom seen body style. And there again, this car shows its age because it is aged and it has age and it's 70 years old, and that's how it was found and that's what happened to it. You know, as we keep working our way through here, we've got the 53 Ford. Once again, we can see the thin paint, we can see the scratches because these cars have been preserved in as found original condition, and that's what makes this collection so great. These are not high point restored cars. These are not modified cars. They were found, saved, preserved, the way they were back in the day. It's the most honest collection of original cars that I've probably ever seen. There may be other collections in the country comparable to it, but this one's amazing as far as original cars. You know, 54 Ford station wagon. You know, there again, an original car. The fender's bumped, the paint's chipped, but it was an old original used station wagon when it was saved and put in here. Same thing with the Baby Bird. You know, a Baby Bird, very seldom do you find a Baby Bird that hasn't been highly restored. This car appears to have been painted at one time, but then it was put right back into use and used as a normal car because they were normal cars. In today's world, it's hard to comprehend that a Baby Bird was a normal car that people drove every day and used as basic transportation. but they did because they were cars, and that's what they were for. And that's how these cars have been preserved. That's what's so great about them. It's 55 Ford two-door sedan, 56 Ford Victoria two-door hardtop. This car has been repainted, but this is a very seldom seen body too. This is a Victoria hardtop, so it's not the Crown, but it is a true two-door hardtop. It is still a Victoria, but not a Crown. Not near as popular or as well-known of a car, but a very good-looking body style. 56 Ford Ranch Wagon. This was apparently used here at Pioneer Village. They had the door lettered up, and they apparently used this vehicle around here. So it had been used at for the Flexiglass Corporation at Harold Warp's company in Chicago, and then they transferred it down here to use around Pioneer Village. So this car was used by Harold Warp for his plastics company. It was used at Pioneer Village. When it was time to retire it, it got its own spot in the museum with the rest of the cars, as it well should. 57 Ford four-door, 58 Ford retract, very well-known body style. The entire hardtop would pick up, as we can see there, fold back into the trunk. Great looking car, really unique design. Once again, this car has some rust in it. It's got chips in the paint. Almost crazy to think of today that it's an original retract that hasn't been restored, because they're, again, like the baby birds, they've been popular for years, and they were just, a lot of them were restored and preserved. Finding an original one in this condition, although it's not perfect, it's unique because you don't see them that way. You know, 58 Ford Fairlane, 62 Fairlane, a little Mustang, so much cool stuff. Another Model A here at the back. And so much neat stuff to see here. And here we've got a comparison of the Model A and the Chevrolet of that era. So some other things that they, you know, set up in this museum so people could look at, compare, contrast from the different times. So, and then obviously the little 65 Mustang behind us, kind of an iconic piece for the Ford Motor Company into the 60s. So that's kind of what we've got for you now. We're going to wrap this one up. As always, thanks for being here. If you're on Facebook, please like the page, tell your friends about us, have them come over and join us, share the video with them. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Check out my other car videos. It's all gearhead stuff because that's all I know. I really wouldn't even be able to talk about anything else. So as always, thanks for being here. I super appreciate you guys taking a few minutes out of your evening to hang out with me. Love doing the videos, but it wouldn't be much fun without you guys hanging out with me. So thanks for being here. We will catch you on the next episode.